I worry a lot about whether my gear will hold. Whether I should do more pull-ups. I worry if I'm doing the right thing or going in the right direction. And then I forget about just getting out there.
Are you recording?
Yeah.
My name is Gwen Moffat. I'm 90 and a half. I've ranched, I've farmed, I've done field work, I've worked in hotels, I've been a crime writer, I've written 35 books, of which 29 were novels. I've done practically anything that was going, and then it comes down to really just one thing, and that was guiding. Guiding and then writing about it.
My name is Claire Carter. I'm a climber and a writer, and I live in a terraced house in Sheffield.
And there's a Craig Rearguard. Is it Craig Rearguard?
I want to climb bravely on sea cliffs and mountain crags. I want to have a solid career, make an impact, buy posh bottles of wine, as well as keep my car running. Or should I just jack it all in and live on adventures? I could, but I'm frightened of what the cost might be.
I don't know when I've ever been frightened. I've only been benighted about 3 times, I think. I thought the police would be after me, and the military police club party, and I didn't recognise a thing. And I thought, well, if he can do it, I can do it. I took a huge chunk of cheese. Well, it wasn't deliberate. It was just you had no food, so you thought, okay, I'll fast for 3 days.
Did you climb in barefoot because you didn't have any boots?
Originally, yes. I forget the other things I've done.
Gwen Moffat, climber, writer, soldier, mother, and a force to be reckoned with in many spheres. In 1961, she wrote her first autobiography, Space Below My Feet. I've read it and reread it, and I'm fascinated by how she committed everything to the mountains. I wanted to see if hanging out in the hills, a bit more like she did, could help me stop worrying about the future and go wild more in the now. It started with cold water swimming.
It was about 10 feet deep, deep enough to dive. I have to dive in winter. If I wade, I should never get there. It was cold, but not too bad if you kept your head.
It's freezing! What would Gwen do? She get in!
You experience discomfort a lot. You know, you go swimming in cold water, you camp in fields. That's a lot of discomfort.
Well, only because I had to. And I mean, the swimming initially is to get clean.
Just to get clean. We've got showers.
I'll break them.
Well done!
Quite often you make decisions, don't you? But sometimes you don't. It's like when I deserted from the army, I didn't realise what I was doing, so I walked away.
Why did you decide to do that?
It just became boring. And I had discovered climbing. They were their own people. They showed me that I could think for myself, and they gave me confidence.
My life as a deserter was completely strange and rather wild. I was 21, and it was my first taste of freedom. It was the life itself that was frightening, the very fact that it seemed to be the quintessence of everything I'd ever wanted: adventure, freedom, rejection of authority. Once committed, I should find it terribly difficult to go back.
We're at Idwal Slabs in North Wales and we're going to climb one of Gwen's favourite routes, which is called Tennis Shoe. If we were going to climb exactly like Gwen, then we'd probably be dressed like this, but we're going to compromise. Let's go! So what was it about climbing? What was so special about climbing?
Well, first of all, climbing's natural, isn't it?
Run out of rope.
I was aware that I had a body which wanted to be extended, and it did. It extended me.
Can you describe what it felt like to climb barefoot?
How's it going?
Oh, lovely. Your feet are hot and sweaty, so they cling like limpets.
So, eat. I don't think it looks too bad.
Yeah, I reckon so.
And you cling, you sort of adhere. And then from there came the need to get to know the mountains more. I could never go to a climbing wall, for example. I wanted to get outside on top of the mountains.
If you're not a climber yourself, it's easy enough to disparage climbing. You know the sort of thing people say. It's just another kind of circus act. It's pure bravado. The whole thing is stupidly foolhardy and ought to be stopped.
Shoes back on.
I think Gwen had horned feet. So it's 6 a.m. Ben Nevis is over there, and we were thinking, what would 2015 Gwen do? It would probably be yoga.
It seemed like another world for one thing. I feel now quite young when I'm looking. I'm young behind my eyes. But when I think of what I did, looking back, it seems like somebody else, you know. I was young and also very much in love with the mountains and receptive.
Bury my eye, head from the light.
So you moved up, you started in Wales and then you went and tried the Lake District and then you went to Skye.
You are the only shelter from the wind and rain.
I've never seen anything so spiky. Mind you, it was a sort of mecca in those days. Now it's Yosemite, but yeah, Skye was our Yosemite before we knew Yosemite existed.
But maybe I'm to blame. Don't you fear the words I say? Don't get lonely when I'm not here. Please don't cry, you know you're the lucky one. Everybody frees their mind sometimes.
Will you try scree running?
Scree running had become a delightful pastime. You plunged over the edge, and the small scree started to move, and you ran on top of it, like going down an escalator. But instead of advertisements for films and ladies' lingerie, you had the great gully walls streaming past on either side, and the water gleaming below among the boulders.
Do you feel that you missed out on anything that other women your age might have experienced?
No, because I'm the sort of person who wouldn't want what they had. And didn't need it, like washing machines and this sort of thing. I didn't have a washing machine until I came here. I was over 70, I think, I bought my first washing machine.
I wanna hear you say, don't go away. Don't you feel?
Did you worry about the future or consequences?
No, I never worried about the future. I didn't think.
It's a bit hairy.
Like a little jungle.
Oh god, this is so scary.
Gwen would probably solo it.
I derived my security from mountains, which I suppose is sort of a confidence meaning it's the confidence I get from being in them.
Wow, this is nuts, Jen.
It's home.
Oh my god. This exposure is just so wild.
Security is where you were yourself, where you were fulfilled. This is where you did your best, and perhaps sometimes you were good at it. You enjoyed it. Oh, you didn't enjoy it always at the time. It's good to look back. Good to look back on. But I didn't climb it very hard. But I did climb well. People think that I was a pioneer in doing the hard routes, but I didn't do very hard routes. But people didn't write about them. That was my great advantage, you see. I wrote about them.
Why did you write about them?
To make money.
I don't know if I could dare to put mountains first all of my life. Do they mean more to me than anything else?
It's a difficult question. I think mountains have meant more to me than people. No, I think the people and my climbing partners have been part of the whole, and I haven't focused on them at all. Besides, the mountains don't change. People do. There's no malice in mountains.
We camped above the pools of Etiv. And on the night we arrived, I lay awake for hours, staring at the stars, and knowing that happiness is not always in retrospect. My happiness depends on weather and surroundings, seldom on people.
We're at Stanage in the Peak District. Through doing the film and climbing like Gwen, just getting out loads, I've actually got a bit better. So I'm gonna have a go at a route that I've always wanted to do that was always like a bit beyond my limit, couldn't see one. And I'm going to attempt time left unconquerable, which is a Joe Brown first ascent in 1949. Should be nails. So yeah, it's going to have a crack.
Do you regret anything?
No, no regrets.
Ooh. Sorry, Jen, I'm making this into like a huge big deal in my head.
No regrets at all. I would have liked to have done certain things I retreated from, but there again, not really regretting, no.
Watch me. Oh no.
That block is a dog.
Nice one.
Yeah, any idea? Totally nearly fell off there. Oh my god. I think that's the most like gone for it I've ever had to be. Oh. Yeah! You did it! Thanks, Gwen.
Gwen is now 91. She lives with her 2 cats on the edge of the Lake District. She only stopped rock climbing in her 70s and celebrated her 90th birthday walking up Great Dodd. She told us that knowing the mountains are out there is enough, but I can't imagine feeling like that, especially for someone who has loved being in them so much for so long. Do you miss the mountains?
I don't miss them any more than I miss climbing, ice climbing, or climbing rock. I've had them. It's part of me. It's like the same when you come to the end of your life saying, do you miss your life? No, I've had it. I mean, had it in the best sense. I mean, I've enjoyed it. I've had my moments. And I don't miss them because they're there. They're part of me.
I've got treetops under my head. I've got seasons under my bed. I've got troubles in the nighttime, troubles in the daytime too. Sand dunes in between my toes. I've got hilltop shadow in my woes. I've got troubles in the nighttime, troubles in the daytime too. I've got troubles in the nighttime, troubles in the daytime blue.